Hello friends, in this session we will be looking at the concept of keys and we will be discussing 4 different types of keys, super key, key, candidate key as well as primary key. So before beginning with the types of keys, let us first of all understand what we mean by the very general concept of keys in general, and for that we will be considering this data. It's a student table with 3 columns, roll number, name and marks, and the data is as given below. All the roll numbers are distinct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a repetition of name here, so ABC is being repeated twice. Then the remaining 4 names DEF, XYZ, PQR and MNO are distinct. And similarly, I have introduced some duplication in marks also. So 10 is repeated twice and 12 is also repeated twice. Now if we, before I go ahead, I would like to recall one thing. We can call it a table as well as we can call it a relation also, because duplicate tuples are absent, or all the tuples are identical, all the tuples are distinct and all the rows are distinct. That is why the given structure can be called as a table as well as relation. Now first of all, anything which can uniquely identify the tuple will be called as a key. Okay, so using key you can uniquely identify the row or you can uniquely identify the tuple. Now let's observe the data and see with the help of which attributes we can uniquely identify the tuple. So first of all roll numbers are distinct and therefore roll number can be used to identify the tuples, and that is why what I will say that roll number is a key for the given data or for the given table or for the given relation. Now let's be very clear with this, because all the roll numbers are distinct. Using this roll number field you can uniquely identify the tuple. For example, if I say roll number 4, then we are very clear that we are talking about the tuple 4, ABC and 12. Or if I ask you a question, what is the name of roll number 4, your answer will be ABC, and what are the marks of roll number 3, your answer will be 10. So let's be very clear here, with the help of roll number we can uniquely identify the tuples. That is why roll number can be called as a key. Now after that, let us see whether with the help of name we can uniquely identify the tuple or not. Now because name is repeating ABC, ABC, we cannot identify rows with the help of name alone, and that is why what we can say that name alone is not a key, whereas roll number alone is a key. Third combination, let us see whether with the help of marks alone we can identify the rows or not. So again, let me ask you one question. If I ask you what is the roll number of ABC, can you answer this question uniquely? What is the roll number of ABC? Your answer will be either 1 or 4, but the question cannot be answered uniquely. Or what I can say, what is the roll number of ABC? This question has got 2 answers. It is either 1 or 4. And this is what I mean by saying name cannot be used to uniquely identify the row. Or when I say a student with name ABC, we are not very clear which exact student we are talking about, either roll number 1 or roll number 4. That is why name alone will not qualify as a key. Then let us consider marks alone. Now again the same reason, if I ask you what is the name of student who has got 10 marks, we cannot identify the student. Similarly, what is the roll number of the student with 12 marks, again we cannot uniquely identify the student. So simply on the basis of marks, students cannot be identified uniquely, and that is why marks cannot be called as a key. Marks alone cannot be called as a key. And now we will do something less basic. We will combine these 2 attributes and we will see whether the combination of these 2 attributes can uniquely identify the tuple or not. So even though ABC is repeating twice, one of the ABC has got 10 marks and another ABC has got 12 marks. So if marks are available, then you can differentiate between these 2 students. See, in this case the only differentiation will be needed in case of roll number 1 and roll number 4, because both the students have got name ABC. DF doesn't need any differentiation, XYZ doesn't need any differentiation. Similarly, PQR as well as MNO don't need any differentiation. Differentiation will be needed in case of ABC. So which ABC we are talking about? We will be talking about either ABC with 10 marks or ABC with 12 marks. So what we can say here, that when you combine these 2 attributes, name and marks, then these 2 attributes together can uniquely identify the row. Because see, the combination of name and mark is distinct everywhere. So ABC 10, DF 12, you can see here ABC is repeating, but one of the marks is 10, another mark is 12. Here 10 is repeating, but the names are different. Here 12 is repeating, but again the names are different. So when names are repeating, marks are different. When marks are repeating, names are different. The combination of name and marks is not repeating, and that is why we can use the combination of these two attributes or these two columns to uniquely identify the tuple, and therefore name and marks together can be called as a key for this particular table. Similarly, let's try to combine other attributes. We will combine roll number as well as name. Okay, now roll number alone was sufficient to uniquely identify the row, and that is why roll number and name, this combination will also be able to identify the tuple. Or what we can say here, because roll numbers are not repeating, roll number alone has got distinct values in all the rows, and therefore the combination of roll number and name will also be unique. See, when roll numbers are unique and you combine roll number with name, the resultant combination will also be unique. The combination of roll number and name will repeat only when roll numbers can repeat. If roll numbers are not repeating, then the combination of roll number and name cannot repeat. And you can observe also, no combination of roll number and name is repeated, or all the combinations of roll number name are different, and that is why with the help of roll number and name we can uniquely identify the tuple, and that is why roll number name will again be called as a key, because simply it can uniquely identify the tuple. Then another combination will be that of, say, roll number and marks. Now again we can use the similar reasoning. Roll number alone can uniquely identify the row, and that's why roll number and marks together can also uniquely identify the row. Or what we can say, because roll numbers are not repeating, because all the roll numbers are different, the combination of roll number and marks will also be different, and therefore this particular combination of attributes can be called as a key combination. Then next combination will be say name and marks we have tried. Okay, next combination will be, we have considered all the columns alone, roll number alone, name alone, marks alone, then name and marks, roll number and name, roll number and marks. Now the only combination which remains to be seen will be roll number, then name and marks. Now herein we are considering all the three attributes together. Now we can see here roll number is a key, therefore roll number, name and marks will also be a key combination, or roll number can be used to uniquely identify the row, and therefore roll number, name and marks can also be used to uniquely identify the row. Similarly, name and marks together form a key, and therefore this combination of name and marks is unique across the table, and that is why the combination of roll number, name and marks can be used to uniquely identify the row, and therefore roll number, name and marks can also be called as a key. So what I will say, in these three columns, whenever we have got three columns, these many combination of attributes are possible, like A alone, B alone, C alone, AB, AC, AB, and then all the three attributes considered together, ABC. So out of the 7 combinations of columns, we can see that only 2 combinations are there which don't act like keys. It is name alone and marks alone. All the remaining 5 combinations are going to act like keys. So let us be very clear with the general concept of key. Key means unique identification of the row will be possible. Okay. Now one more thing. Whenever we call something as a key, no 2 rows can have same value for the key. Now when I say roll number, no 2 rows can have same value for the roll number. When we say name and marks is a key, no 2 rows have same combination of values for name and marks. Whenever we have got roll number and marks, no 2 rows can have the same combination for roll number and marks. Now let me explain this with the help of an example. Let us say if I modify this 10 to 12, now this combination of name and marks is also repeating, ABC 12 and ABC 12. Now in this particular case, name and marks cannot be called as a key, because what is the rule? If this combination is a key, then this combination cannot repeating, but here the combination is repeating, and that is why right now with this data, this particular combination of attributes, that is name and marks, cannot be called as a key. So earlier it was 10 and therefore it could be called as a key because the combination was different. Similarly, I would like to add one more thing here. if I repeat entire row, okay, say 6 MNO and 11, now this particular structure cannot be called as a relation. We have discussed it in the previous session. A relation cannot consist of duplicate tuples, and therefore this should be called as a table. Now let us see what keys are possible in this particular case. Now roll number alone cannot be called as a key because there are two tuples which are having the same value for roll number, and that is why on the basis of roll number alone we cannot identify the tuples. So roll number is not a key in this particular case. Then name alone is repeating, therefore name alone cannot be called as a key. Similarly, marks are also repeating, and therefore marks alone cannot be called as a key. Then let us take this combination of name and marks. So this combination of name and marks is also repeating, MNO11. That's why this combination is not a key. Then roll number and name, again this combination is also repeating. In fact, whenever two rows are repeating, every combination of attribute is going to repeat. Whatever combination you try, like roll number alone is repeating, name alone is repeating, marks alone is repeating, then the combination of roll number and name is also repeating, the combination of name and marks is also repeating, and the combination of roll number and marks is also repeating. And similarly, the combination of roll number, name and marks, all three attributes considered together, is also repeating. So what I can say, that whenever you have got duplicate rows present in the data, no combination of attributes will be having unique value. Or what we can say, whenever you have got duplicate tuples present in the data, every combination, any combination of attributes, any combination of any number of attributes is going to repeat. And that is why no combination of attributes can be called as a key, and therefore the observation is, whenever duplicate rows are present or whenever duplicate tuples are present, the particular table or relation will not have any key, or whenever duplicate rows are present or duplicate tuples are present, then the number of keys will be equal to 0. This is keyless. Okay, this is keyless, and it is keyless because duplicate rows are present. Let us be very clear on this. Okay, now see, we have seen the very general concept of key. So key means unique identification, and unique identification means keyness. Now what we are going to do, we will classify the key into one of these four types, like super key, key, candidate key, and primary key. Now while discussing these four things, we will keep candidate key and primary key aside, because technically there is no difference between a key, a candidate key, and a primary key, or structurally there is no difference between key, candidate key, and primary key. The difference between key, candidate key, and primary key is subjective, and therefore right now we are going to focus only on the first two types, that is super key and key. Now see, any combination of attributes which is unique for all the rows will be called as a super key. So right now what we can say, that okay, let me make a grid here. Super key and key. Now see, any combination of attributes which can uniquely identify the tuple will be called as a super key. I will go back to the previous data. Okay, and therefore roll number is a key, therefore roll number will also be a super key. Actually everything which is a key can be called as a super key. Okay, so name and marks combination is also a key. So name marks combination, okay, name is not a key, therefore it cannot be a super key. Marks is not a key, therefore it cannot be a super key. Then name marks combination is a key, and therefore it can be called as a super key. Then roll number and name again is the key combination, and therefore it can be called as a super key. Roll number marks again a key combination, it can be called as a super key. And roll number, name, marks, all three attributes together make a key combination, and therefore again it can be called as a super key. So what we can say, every combination of attributes which uniquely identify the tuples can be called as a super key. Okay, now let's see what is the meaning of key. A super key without any redundant attribute will be called as a key. Okay, or what we can say, let's go by some examples. We will observe roll number and name. See, roll number, name is a super key, no doubt. If you remove roll number from this combination of attributes, then the remaining attribute will be name. Okay, name alone. I repeat again, consider the combination of roll number and name. If we drop roll number, the only remaining attribute will be name, and name alone is not a super key. Okay, but when we drop name, then the remaining column will be roll number, and roll number alone is a super key. So what does that mean? In this combination of attributes, only roll number alone is able to uniquely identify the rows, or roll number alone is the key, and therefore in this combination the name attribute is an additional attribute. It is not needed for the property of keyness. Roll number alone is sufficient to act as a key. Therefore this second column will be called as an additional column, redundant column, and any key containing a redundant column cannot be called as a key. So this is a super key but not a key. Okay, same is the case with roll number and marks. In roll number and marks, this second attribute marks is redundant. Roll number alone can act like a key, and therefore at this combination cannot be called as a key. However, let us consider the first column, the first combination, roll number. Now this combination of attributes has got only one attribute, which is the roll number itself, and no attribute is redundant, or the only attribute which is present there is roll number, and it is needed to act like a key, and therefore roll number will be called as a key. Similarly, let us consider name and marks. Now if you drop name, you are left with marks alone. Marks alone is not a key. If you drop marks, you will be left with name alone. Name alone is not a key. So what does that mean? Both these columns are essential. Both these columns are required to make a key combination. Okay, and if you remove any one column from this combination, either you remove name or you remove marks, then the remaining combination of columns cannot act like a key, and therefore this combination of attributes can also be called as a key. Okay, because redundant attributes are absent. Similarly, okay, name alone is not a key, therefore it is neither a super key nor a key. Marks again not a super key, neither a key. And lastly, again roll number, name and marks. Now here we have got redundant combinations. If you think of roll number, then name and marks are redundant, because roll number alone can act like a key, and if you think of name and marks, this combination forms a key combination, and therefore roll number will become redundant. And that is why what we can say that again, okay, this combination has got redundant attributes. Now either roll number is redundant or name and marks, this combination is redundant, and therefore this particular combination can be called as a super key, but it cannot be called as a key. So what we will say, there is a simple rule here: a minimal super key will be called as a key. And what is the meaning of minimal super key? A super key in which redundant attributes are absent will be called as minimal super key. Here redundant attributes are absent, therefore super key as well as key. Here redundant attributes are absent, both the attributes are needed, therefore super key as well as key. Now in this key, name is redundant, therefore this combination will be a super key but not a key. Here marks are redundant, therefore this combination will be called as a super key, not a key. Here either roll number is redundant or name and marks, this combination is redundant, therefore this combination can be called as a super key but not a key. And again we get a basic relationship here. It is that first of all you will determine the super keys, and all those super keys which do not contain any redundant attribute will be called as keys. And thus we get a fundamental relationship here that every key is also a super key, but a super key may be or may not be a key. Okay, because all the keys are present within the region of super key, or every key will also satisfy the condition of super key. A super key may be or may not be a key. Now when I say a super key may be or may not be a key, you must be able to identify in what case a super key will be equal to key and in what case super key will not be a key. So I will talk on this. A super key will be a key if and only if it does not contain any redundant attribute, and a super key will not be a key if and only if it contains at least one redundant attribute. Okay, or what we can say, that a combination of attributes can be called as a key if its proper subset is not a key. Now see, what does that mean? What is the proper subset of roll number? Proper subset of roll number will be phi. Phi cannot be a key. Okay, then let us see roll number and name. Here name is a proper subset of roll number and name. Okay, and therefore because a proper subset is a key, the given key cannot be called as a key. It can be only called as a super key. Okay, so this is a simple relationship that we need to remember. Every key is a super key. A super key may be or may not be a key. And now the remaining two key types are quite simple. They are candidate key and primary key. Now see, whenever a table has got multiple keys, then each key will be called as a candidate key. It's like both of them are candidates to become primary key, because a table cannot have multiple primary key. The number of primary key will always be equal to 1, but a table can have multiple keys, and whenever a table has got multiple keys, in that case each key will be called as a candidate key, and one of the candidate keys will be selected, will be designated as primary key. So even though this table has got 2, the number of primary key will be equal to just 1, and that can be either roll number or name and marks. So let's be very clear here. The total number of super keys present in this table are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The total number of keys are equal to 1, 2. The total number of candidate keys is also equal to 2, but the total number of primary key will always be equal to 1. Now which key should be a primary key? That is a subjective question. It's part of design. It depends upon the database designer and the architect of the database to select which particular key should be designated as primary key. Lot many factors can be taken into consideration, like space factor, performance, etc., to determine which particular candidate key should be designated as a primary key. Okay. So in the next session we will be looking at the concept of functional dependencies, so that we are in ready state to begin with normalization.